Bishop Robert Brennan joins us now to speak more about the consecration. Welcome, Bishop.
Thank you, Christine. Good to see you.
You too. So first of all, what exactly does it mean to consecrate a nation to the Immaculate Heart of Mary?
Well, it's really, in the end, an act of entrustment. And all prayer is entrusting ourselves to God. And keeping in line with the message of Fatima, Mary is asking us to trust in God, but also to trust in her love to bring us to God. And so she asks for these consecrations, these times that we turn ourselves over. In this particular case, we turn over to God through Mary, the people who are suffering during this terrible war, and those who have suffered through the ages.
So how is the Diocese of Brooklyn participating in this worldwide prayer?
Well, Pope Francis has actually asked all the bishops of the world to take part in this prayer. And that's really, if you think about it, quite a moving experience. That what the Pope is doing is he's asking all of us to be together to pray, stop the things that we're doing. He has to try to do it around the same time. Now, given the reality of time zones around the world, in some parts it may be difficult. For us, it's relatively easy. Several parishes are having their own prayer through the day. We'll be praying in preparation through the morning with Net TV. We'll be holding a holy hour to prepare ourselves from 11 until 12. And then at 12, we'll join with Pope Francis in reciting the prayer of consecration. And then that will begin immediately, or flow immediately, into Mass, into the noon Mass for the solemn feast of the Annunciation.
What can we hope for? What are we hoping the end result, obviously? What can we hope will happen from this worldwide prayer?
Well, there are two things. There's an immediate and a more permanent hope. So the immediate hope is for cessation of the violence, for an end to this invasion, and the end to the war, and an end to the suffering. We beg God to help us as we pray for those who are suffering and to bring this war to an end. So we're looking for an immediate end to that. But the more long-term thing, and this goes back to the promise of Fatima, what we're really looking for a conversion, a change of heart and mind, a change, and how appropriate we're doing it on the Feast of the Annunciation in the season of Lent. That's what Lent is all about, that conversion of heart and mind. We're seeking a conversion of heart and mind for that nation of Russia particularly. As we know, there's the history of communism there, and that expulsion, if you will, of God. But now we see sort of a return to that, and so we renew our prayers and we pray for that long-term, ongoing conversion.
Now, while the Catholic bishops of Russia are all for this, they said the consecration to the Immaculate Heart of Mary is not magic, it is prayer. What do you think they mean by this?
Actually, that's a very, very important point, because we're not engaging in magic or in superstition. It's not by saying, the magic words, something's going to happen. And that's really been the Pope's approach to this. That's why he's asking us all to pray. So a consecration, again, comes from the heart and is asking for a conversion of hearts, and from the heart, entrusting ourselves to God through our Blessed Mother. So it's very important to keep that in mind, because sometimes we can reduce some of our devotions in such a way that we lose sight of the fact that what we're doing is really praying. And when we pray, we turn ourselves over, we surrender ourselves to God. Superstition is a little bit more controlling. You do these things and you force the hand of God. That's not how we approach this. That's not how God works. But in perfect humility, and in a sense for ourselves, of all of us, of recognizing our need for God's mercy and help, we surrender ourselves and offer our heartfelt prayers. And again, that goes back to the way Pope Francis is approaching this. That's why he asked all the world to pray with him in this moment.
All right, it's going to be very powerful. Bishop Robert Brennan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be with you. I look forward to being with you tomorrow.
Okay, great. As Bishop said, the Diocese of Brooklyn will join in the Pope's prayers all Friday morning. Starting at 8 a.m. from the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph, Mass will be celebrated in English for the Solemnity of the Annunciation of the Lord, with a prayer for the consecration after. That will be repeated in Spanish at 9 a.m. and in Creole at 10 a.m. At 11, Bishop Robert Brennan will lead a holy hour prayer for peace at the Cathedral Basilica of St. James, followed by Mass at noon. Then at 1 o'clock, you can watch the Vatican consecration right here on net. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.